Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Reece, and I'm here to bring you the monthly Bloodbath podcast of their community meeting from June 11th, 2016. There was an excellent turnout tonight with over 70 people in attendance from all across the Bloodbath community. And for all those that couldn't attend but tuned into this podcast, we haven't forgotten you either, and we thank you for listening. Your support is always appreciated. There are lots of announcements tonight, ranging from group finances, new custom content on the servers, and even new community events. We were even privileged enough to have a few guest speakers tonight, with one being the director from Squad Ops, who told us more about their group's single life scenario events they're hosting on the game Squad, a developer from the Heroes of the West mod, sharing about their group's latest content patch release, as well as a couple content creators discussing their latest upcoming maps and mutators. Discussions tonight ranged from alleviating the challenge of populating the servers without relying on those annoying pesky invites, all the way to a review of campaign versus rotation modes, to even a review of the legendary Discord, Bloodbath's recent replacement for TeamSpeak. If you enjoy playing on the Bloodbath servers, and I'm sure that you do, and if you're one of those people that supports the ideal environment that they are trying to provide so hard as a service to you, the public, then we ask that you please donate today. Doesn't matter how small or how large, even though, because obvious reasons, large is better. Large is always better. You can find the donation link in the top right of the Bloodbath Steam group page. The all-volunteer staff works tirelessly to ensure that you have full servers to play on with custom content and no hassle disturbances. So please show your appreciation, because these entirely community-run and funded servers rely entirely on your magical support. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening, and I want to thank you for being a part of this successful, wonderful, amazing, and fantastic community. Really can't say enough about it. So that's going to be all for me. My name is Reece, and oh god, this is tough every single time. Tenno Heika! Banzai!
Welcome, everyone. This is an excellent turnout for tonight, and possibly the largest one we've had yet. There's literally over 70 people on right now, so that's something unprecedented that we never had on our TeamSpeak. So thank you for coming out. We were supposed to have held this meeting late last month, but due to time schedules of team members, we had to delay it up until now. But if you haven't been to one of our monthly meetings before, the basic rundown is the itinerary I listed, where I will yammer on for about 10 minutes or so about the latest happenings in the Bloodbath community. And then after that, it'll be followed up by a discussion segment for 20 to 30 minutes where the community can chime in with their opinions and feedback. We try to keep these meetings under 40 minutes because we know how eager everyone will be to start shooting each other up in Squad and Red Orchestra. So I'll try to be as expedient as possible. And for those who couldn't attend but are listening to our monthly podcast, thank you for listening. Now, in keeping with our philosophy of being a transparent group, as well as following up with our goal last month to accomplish this, Bloodbath is now releasing monthly budget reports for the server for all community members to see. And I'd like to stress that this is something a bit unprecedented in most communities, least of all in the ones Bloodbath is a part of, because most server groups and providers keep most of this information behind closed doors and only server operators themselves. We're doing this because we want everyone to know what the stakes are in keeping a server running, as well as to feel a sense of ownership and responsibility towards it. I mean, when it comes down to it, everyone here on Bloodbath all started out as casual pupper. We all share the same background and roots as other player base does. We're not here to make a name for ourselves or prove something. We're only here because of you, the community. We're in service to you. The only thing that sets the Bloodbath team apart from the community is a dedicated all-volunteer staff that comes together to provide an ideal place to enjoy our favorite games at. Something that was severely lacking in the status quo before. be it custom content, an active and mature admin team, chill atmosphere, regular events, good at server hardware and bandwidth, or hell, even a sense of community for that matter, which is probably the most important. So the moment we begin down the path of providing a subpar service is the day we'd sooner close doors. We're only as strong as our enthusiasm and our positive effect on the community. And probably I can have Ron audit my report since I know he studied accounting, but I'm fairly certain that these are 100% accurate. And you can find our monthly reports to this date here. I'll link it. Do note that I couldn't get the Excel spreadsheet imported in Google Docs easily, so we're just going to resort to a JPEG tonight. This is a work in progress, and I haven't finalized the format, but you can kind of get the gist of things here. Also, do note that our bills are paid at the first of each month, so while the remaining balance may be listed with a nice cushiony amount going into June, it's down to around $144 as of now. Also note that this last month we received an abnormally high donation from a single individual, so don't expect us to be floating around this kind of cash on a normal basis each month. We also haven't had any donations for June thus far either. Now, this brings me to our next point on fundraising for the Bloodbath servers. Now that we're publicly releasing detailed monthly budget reports to the community, everyone should now be aware of what the stakes are and what it costs to maintain the unique service and identity that we have to offer as a group. Remember, Bloodbath is only here because the dedication of its all volunteer staff, positive feedback from the community, and most importantly, the continued support of the community to fund it. Crowdsourcing is just another area that sets our community apart from others, being that we're 100% reliant on the community to exist, whereas clans tend to fund themselves internally. So people's choices to not only plan our servers, but to fund them as well are literally direct votes towards our performance. Clans can kind of get away with poor servers and continue to exist because of their internal funding. Same goes for corporate servers, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't have this funding any other way. So for whatever Bloodbath means to you and the experience that you have on our servers, we encourage you to equate that to some kind of donation amount, whether small or large. Anything can go a long way. And we could particularly use donations now more than ever so we can fund ourselves for the entire summer and not feel that sense of awkwardness in asking for donations for a while. But I want to make it clear that all donations are confidential and listed anonymously in our budget reports, unless you choose to let people know otherwise. Further, no one, not even I, the server operator, can touch these funds as they go directly to our service provider. So don't worry, it's not as if Blood Malice is siphoning off donations into a secret slush fund in the Cayman Islands or anything. But these funds will go to where they're meant to be directed. And you can find links for where to donate under the link sections in our Steam groups in the top right, in the Steam forums, or on the monthly budget reports themselves whenever I can get that working in Excel. And I'll even post the link here in the lobby. Moving on, Bloodbath will be getting new admins in the next day or so. The team hasn't fully finished its confirmation of all the potential new admins, but be sure to keep an eye out for them. While the Red Orchestra team will only be getting one due to a recent vacancy, the bulk of our new members will be coming from the squad front and will hopefully complete the team. Our aim is to have 15 admins allotted to each game for the North American time zones, so as to always ensure that an admin is around to handle disturbances on the servers. And now that the servers are starting to stay full longer, and in squad's case, often 24/7, we have plans to expand to have European teams to cover their time zones as well, but I'll get into that later. We aim to make sure that every one of our admins are fit for the job, vetted and equipped with the philosophy and knowledge to handle situations in a proper, mature, and objective manner. So if at any point you feel like critiquing an admin's performance, even hell, that of my own, please don't hesitate to provide constructive criticism. Like I said earlier, we're in service to you and we want to provide a quality service to that. So in our admin training, I draw a comparison that we're operating as though we're in the service industry. And if anyone has ever personally worked in the service industry, you'll know how much of a rough and thankless job it can be. But the reward is in seeing people having a good time. But the moment people dislike our servers is the moment they'd sooner leave for another provider. So we always have to be kept on our toes. And for all of our squad players out there, Bloodbath will now be participating in a new community event called Squad Ops. Squad Ops is a closed public event focused on immersion and tactical gameplay. It aims to bring realistic scenarios to create a cinematic experience for both players and spectators alike. The main premise of Squad Ops is that you complete all objectives in one of many single life, unique scenarios for your respective team. Once you die, you can no longer contribute to your team and must exit in the death camera in order to spectate the rest of the match. And Squad Ops offers game modes that simply just don't exist yet, or at least until the modding community can integrate them in the game. So if you want to check this out, they have a forums I'm linking for you guys right now. We're also privileged to have some representatives from Squad Ops here tonight, so I'll let them take the floor for a moment to tell us a little more about the event. So you have the floor, guys.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Jericho. For those of you who don't know me, which is probably most of you, I'm a community representative from Squad Ops. We also have Karma Cut here, who is the director of Squad Ops. If you want to say something about yourself, Karma.
Yeah, okay, so I founded Squad Ops with kind of the idea that Squad is currently playing too fast, and we want to bring in an environment that is more tactical and cinematic in nature. So we've decided to limit a lot of assets, including lives, in our events that kind of foster this kind of decision-making and more intense environment.
Typically, our events so far have had about usually around 30 people. We're kind of hoping to get it somewhere to 40 or 50 range. And then we're actively trying to get people to join. And basically just turns down to, you have, for one of our ops, for example, it's a patrol through Logar. You have about 30 US players against 10 insurgents, and the insurgents' goal is to wipe out all of the US while they're patrolling through Logar. And what it turns down to is you have these awesome ambushes that pop up. You just have the US following the MSR. They pop up, they get hit by an RPG, and a 50 cal opens up on them, and it just turns into chaos. For an example of one of our ops.
Yeah, so we're constantly looking and testing for new operations. We're building our own mod team, our own custom maps, and our own custom tools to kind of make it feel less gimmicky and less kind of on a rule system. We're looking actively to build these tools to kind of make Squad Ops more legitimate in nature. And I think as Squad progresses as a game in general, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for Squad Ops to do pretty amazing things, especially when vehicles arrive. It's a pretty easy sign-up system that we have currently. It's pretty much just sign up on the forums and then take a look at the events list and then just sign up for the event that you like. The reason that we have people sign up on the forums is because we're going to pull 64 IDs, which is needed for the death cam, which is technically the admin cam right now in Squad, so that when you have that one life and you do lose that one life, you would still have something to do for the rest of that game.
That's pretty cool, guys. What kind of different kinds of scenarios are you guys going to run?
Currently, right now, I have a team testing a attack and defend on Sumari. We're using the bridges to try to. It gives this kind of feeling that you're assaulting an actual town in an actual area of the map, rather than just a team deathmatch or a capture the flag kind of scenario. It's actually feels like you're trying to siege the city. We're also working and looking forward to longer, more dynamic kind of operations over like 2 hours for one operation, but that's in the long term. We're just really experimenting with what we can do with the tools we have right now.
Yeah, personally, I had a lot of fun with the operation we ran the other night. It does live up to that cinematic feel. And when we were doing that, was it a night patrol on Logar night or something?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we got ambushed, and then the sudden flurry of RPG and RPK fire all around, all hell breaking loose at once. So it was pretty sweet. And I also liked how you had formations going too.
Yeah, we're trying to bring that milsim environment without actually stepping fully into the milsim realm, just to kind of keep it casual, but kind of have that hardcore experience for everyone.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, feel free to link some videos in the lobby, and people can check it out later.
Sure, we'll do that. Awesome, but I think that's pretty much it for Squad Ops. I mean, we're open to everyone. We have events every Friday at 20 UTC and 20 Central Time. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Good deal, guys. So if anyone has any questions for them, they'll probably stick around, hopefully. a little after the meeting and answer any and all questions you guys have.
Awesome.
Nice.
Now, for an event for Red Orchestra coming up, we have our summer welcome party. It's that graduation season for students is coming to a close, and I was thinking our theme for this monthly party in Red Orchestra could be that of a summer welcome party or something. And it's what's kind of more reminiscent of childhood summers than those sessions of capture the flag in the outdoors. Aside from playing all those silly maps we did in the Bloodbath anniversary party, I'd like to introduce capture the flag game mode at our next close community event this month. It'll definitely need some volunteers for private testing, but let me know if you're interested in this. And I'm not sure if there's anything on the squad front we could do to celebrate the onset of summer, but if you guys have any ideas, we're all ears. And speaking of maps, another announcement for the orchestra will be new maps. As you know, most maps are not compatible with campaign mode when we ran it, but now that we're in rotation, we're able to provide some more maps to play on. Later this month, we'll be on the lookout for Zytomir, Odessa, Alligator Creek, the upcoming Volskovy and Makin maps, and possibly even Caucasus. Algodao will also be receiving a small but crucial update so it doesn't drag on as much as it used to. And all these maps have been thoroughly vetted beforehand, as we want to maintain a quality standard for hosting only the most polished, functional, balanced, and unique custom maps on the server. Also, to address the complaints from our Rising Storm players about the SNLF uniforms around the server, the Mutator is receiving an update to address this by releasing new but historically accurate Pacific Theater uniforms to make the factions more distinct and less prone to causing that bothersome accidental team killing. This Mutator update will be coming from our very own Beskar Mondo, so be sure to thank him. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask him. And speaking of mutators and Beskar, he's also working on another mutator for us for our historical rotation nights. So instead of relying on that small red admin text that needs to be inputted manually before each map, we'll soon have a mutator that displays the brief history behind each map in the center of the screen instead, in that larger Red Orchestra font during the pre-start time. So whether he can manage to have the mutator do all this automatically would be preferable, but I'll be happy to be able to do it at all, honestly. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out the newest content release from the Heroes of the West group for their June 6th update. We have a representative from their development team tonight, so if you have any questions or feedback to give, feel free to chat Eliminator up. And if you have anything to add, Eliminator, now's the time, mate.
Have any of you experienced crashes if you have been playing? Well,
Yes.
pretty much the style. Well, pretty much textures on Khan are too high, and when you change team, which even change class,
Yes,
a big audio usage spike happens, which like spikes RAM, and since the textures are already too high, it hits that 32-bit limit where you're only allowed to use a certain amount of RAM, crashes the game. So currently to fix that, just lower your texture shading from ultra to high, and that should be the only issues with the Heroes of the West mode currently. We're working to fix that too.
All right, cool. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask Eliminator. He's going to be around.
Also, there won't be a patch for it until like the end of the month, since these exams for India.
Is that for the hot fix?
Yeah, where our main code lives in India.
All right.
Eliminator, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Knowing some of the maps, especially some of the newer maps, do you guys have any plans on balance changes towards mainly the attacking team?
Yeah, at the end of the month. Pretty much defenders, or the defenders on Khan need more tickets, the attackers on Hill 400 need more tickets.
Eliminator, I also have a question. Since the new update that added the British, you changed around some of the audio files with the German weapons, and I can no longer tell what direction the shot is coming from. It all sounds like it's directly behind me, no matter what angle or distance that I'm at.
We didn't touch anything, and I haven't noticed any changes. Just the G43 has always kind of been like that.
It's AK, not the AK-47. The Sturmgewehr was really annoying because people have been shooting with it, and I have absolutely no idea where they are.
That should be fine. It depends what kind of headset you have usually. Sometimes if you have just general stereo, if you're looking directly at someone, it sounds behind you.
No, I mean it only changed. It only started once the update.
I think it's just a placebo effect right there. Because none of that's been touched. But then again, the launcher was never touched, and that's having an issue. I think that's due to a Windows update.
Okay, thank you.
People are talking in the text channel saying, "I have experienced bugs with the British machine gun sound not directionalizing."
They all directionalize. Well, at least it's saying it is. There's the Bren gun carrier, which doesn't do it. The Bren gun carrier is that. Yeah. That's the carrier machine gun. It's using first person sounds to third person, so it sounds like you're shooting it. So yeah, don't use the carrier unless you want to run over people.
That's what it's good for, just running over people.
Yeah, it's a lot better than the machine gun anyway. If only bots could use the flipping Bren gun carrier. The thing is, we got it so late because the animator took forever to flip and do it.
All right, well, we got to move on. So if anyone has any further questions, just feel free to hit them up after.
Also, Mando's making a map for it. He's doing everything.
Oh, yeah, Cherbourg?
Yeah, I still have a lot of research to do.
That's not going to be out for a while, though, right, buddy?
Yeah, probably end of August.
Okay. Good to have you here tonight, Besker.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now that announcement's out of the way, I'd like to open up our discussion segment so we can feel free to start chiming in here on this one, guys. Personally, I'm a bit perplexed when it comes to passively seeding the Red Orchestra servers. And by that, I mean having them populate on their own each night without admin or group advice. The squad server doesn't seem to have as much of an issue here as we do on the Red Orchestra Fund. Don't get me wrong, our servers are full each night and have risen in rank to the third most popular server group in North America. But the catch is it's only because of the team's dedication of tossing out invites each and every night and gathering up all the regulars to hop on. But alas, even servers we have long surpassed in rank still manage to fill up on their own without any help from the server owners. And I'd really like to know why that never happens on Bloodbath and what we could possibly do to change that. Because I'm literally all out of ideas and things we haven't tried already. And I don't want to burn out our team by continuing to do this for yet another 6 months on top of the 6 we've been doing this thus far. We're quickly approaching the brink of insanity if we keep this up. So, ideas, anyone?
Convert the Merrills and Weekend Warriors videos.
Okay, but half the reason I play Bloodbath is to get away from the Merrills and Weekend Warriors regulars.
Exactly. To get away from all the...
Well, we're admins, so we can solve those problems.
An opinion from somebody who has just recently come back to RO2. I left maybe about 6 months ago when the second Fallschirmjäger server stopped getting populated. I just couldn't stand the campaign mode servers. And coming back, I did not notice Bloodbath until another community member had told me about it. And then it kind of piqued my interest and I joined. Maybe having I guess it just doesn't have the longevity that the other servers have. And it's not like a lot of people's default at this point. And so maybe getting a startup group, just do a specific startup group of people who are willing to be messaged, just public players, specifically to get the server populated each night.
How do you mean?
So back in the Team Fortress 2 days, a lot of clans had their own Steam groups that were specifically for starting up servers in case they didn't have population. Maybe have a separate group specifically for people who are willing to do that.
The Bloodbath group is already like the second largest Steam group for RO2.
Yeah, it's quickly approaching the largest group in Red Orchestra in the next 100 members or so.
What's the largest currently?
It's the Russia Steam group, which is at 3,800 members, and we're at 3,700 right now.
Just some of my thoughts. I think the potential of having a lot of custom maps, specifically the long maps. I'm not against custom maps or long maps, but I think that has a habit of kind of killing the server. And I think for a lot of new people who are new to the game, they don't necessarily have the patience to download them or stick around. So I think that may hurt it in some ways with keeping it populated.
Well,
yeah, personally, whenever I was playing,
whenever I would run into a server that had a lot of custom maps, I would just find something that didn't, because I was always sitting around downloading new maps.
Would you download slowly?
I have slower internet, yeah, but
Okay.
a lot of custom ones would usually make me go to a new server.
Yeah, I feel like what keeps those servers populated is the constant new players. If you go there, it's a lot of lower level people who probably don't play as often or are probably not going to stick around for that long, but they go to just because it's populated and just kind of keeps it going.
Exactly.
Yeah, and plus the niche of Bloodbath not having campaign mode and having those custom maps is a big reason why I think a lot of people are playing every night.
All right. Well, let me play devil's advocate on that one, because we ran campaign mode for over 4 months and we still had the same problem. And when it comes to custom maps now, they only appear when the server is full.
Okay.
So I don't know what's causing players to not start seed the server, because they can farm all the stock maps.
There's also 40 to 1 in Europe who runs custom maps and campaign, and they're the most popular in Europe.
Yeah, well, people don't seem to mind downloading maps over there. North America, we're all lazy. I mean, we have a Bloodbath collection that you guys can all subscribe to ahead of time, so you don't need a download from the server. But even if you do download from the server, it's a fast redirect. So I don't know what's causing people to not have patience with that. But that shouldn't be an issue when it comes to filling the server anyway, because they don't appear until the server is past 54 players.
I also have one more point about player retention.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you have veterans, and I'm not saying everyone, I've seen this all too often, is that if you have newer players, and of course they keep the game alive, they keep the player numbers up, but a lot of people are actively hostile to them. And while I do think that they do go a little overboard, a lot of newer players do tend to take squad leader and stuff, and that can actively hurt a team's effort as well. If then a new guy has tanks on bridges, for example, and I want to think, what are the admins going to do, and how are they going to balance it out to keep the hostility down, but to also let newer players know they should probably start off on less important classes.
Well, that's a good point. We definitely encourage our admins to guide those new people, but if they aren't living up to accepting feedback and learning, we kind of have to bump them out of that role because it's so crucial. That's kind of our stance on it now. Do you think that's balanced enough?
Yeah, personally, I agree with that.
All right. I like what's going on in the text chat right now. When I admit, I usually ask people nicely a couple times to leave roles if they're playing incompetently. That's a good point, Drunk.
So you said there was a Steam thing to subscribe to download all your maps for the RO2 server, yeah?
Yeah, I'll link that for you guys now. I'm sure most people in here are already subscribed to it, but in case there are some new people here tonight who aren't aware of our Bloodbath collection, you can subscribe to all of our lovely custom maps in one go. And it can be found here, linked in the lobby.
And it's magical.
It is magic. All right, so does anyone else have any other ideas on what we could do with increasing passive seeding?
Could we try and get some sort of YouTuber that plays Red Orchestra a lot to come to our servers?
I'm on it.
I don't know anyone else other than Anthony, and that guy's a very select audience. But he's here tonight if he wants to make a plug for his channel, Anthony.
$1,000 and he'll do it. I'm his manager.
I have the Shermanator on my Steam friend list. Who's got
That would be wonderful if you could get him to feature us.
I've been starting to stream the on your servers, and although it's slow getting viewers, we are starting to get maybe like 5 or 6 a night, and it's usually like 1 or 2 regulars, and then everyone else seems to be new people that I've seen hop into the actual servers themselves. So trying to work on that.
What are the server messages that come up? Do they advertise Bloodbath itself?
Yep. Plenty of times.
I can't remember any of them.
Well, I could copy and paste, but I don't think anyone's really that interested.
But yeah,
they're
the
there.
server messages, people know. Well, people see server messages and videos that they all say Bloodbath in them.
Oh yeah.
No.
Well, we'll just try to think of some stuff. We got to move on now.
People easily know it's 40-1 because they use the flipping Big Brother bot thing with the read text that pops up all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, they're advertising us now, which is amusing, and we are thankful.
You know, Blood, I think, like you said, how we had run campaign and some other stuff that other servers had done that they get popped. I mean, we did that stuff and then we switched off to something else and got more people. So it's like maybe we weren't as popular. You know, there was nothing to set us apart the first time around. If we went back to that, maybe it would change. I don't know. But I mean, the other thing is it's also that's kind of the nature of the beast with a server like this and a group like this. Because like personally, I don't play Red Orchestra unless there are other people I know playing, in which case I'll get on. So I'm sure there's a bunch of other people in this Discord who are like that. They just if other people are on, they pop it, but they won't pop a dead server because they're not playing with people they know.
Well, that brings us to our next discussion point, actually, of rotation versus campaign review. We had a community member bring up returning campaign mode on forums recently after a month or so of hosting rotation. And I figure it's pretty much a good time now to revisit the topic and review how the experience has been. So I've noticed that the consensus of the community so far has been to remain with rotation mode, but I'd like to use this time now to make a final determination. So if you have any opinion on this matter, feel free to chime in now.
Well, personally, I enjoyed campaign mode more, especially on Rising Storm. You had mentioned earlier in the maps that were being added, Alligator Creek. That one was, I don't think it works with campaign. Maybe they fixed that. But I've never seen that since we started rotation. And there's a lot of maps and other maps also in Red Orchestra that I have been wanting to see and play again, but there's only so much time in a day, and I don't know when they're going to be up.
Well, a lot of the big issues with campaign was that the same maps would get played over and over, and people just choose the ones necessary to win the campaign. And a lot of maps weren't compatible with campaign mode. But I can understand why people like it, because you stay on the same team for the entire time. You feel a sense of accomplishment. But honestly, do those things outweigh the benefits of rotation? Because what if people select a custom map while the server is populating? It just kills the server. Whereas in rotation, they only appear when the server is already full.
I have to say, I still am a big fan of map voting. I don't know if other people are enthusiastic to try it, but I think it has all of the positives of rotation and not really any of the negatives.
I guess we could do a pilot run of map voting night. Is anyone interested in that?
Map voting was removed from Aussie and Z and replaced with set rotation. Because people would just vote bridges all the time. Bridges, and more bridges.
Oh God, yeah.
That would be terrible.
Could you make it so after a map is voted, it's kicked off for like the next 3 maps or something?
Yeah. There's a mutator for it, but it's kind of buggy.
Yeah, that's what they would do in RO1 with map voting. Is the
Also,
previous
Blitzy, I'm
maps.
sorry.
But yeah, you can have there's a mutator. I have to ask Cat, the server owner for Aussie News what it is. But yeah, if a map has been played after 3 or 4 rounds, it won't appear on the map list, and it goes back. But sometimes it glitches out and just puts map in there or takes away maps for no reason.
How about having 2 campaign nights?
I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna get really burnt out doing that because there's a lot of babysitting the server. If we do all this switching on and off of stuff, we would basically need more volunteers because.
Could you do switch it off every other week between Stalingrad and the Pacific?
I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Because I've literally never played a Pacific campaign.
Actually, that would be a great idea to track how the server is drawing people to have 1 week run campaign mode on Red Orchestra and then on Rising Storm. Alternate and see the numbers.
We even had someone suggest that we combine the servers. then it'd be kind of like the Bonsai server where you're switching between the Pacific and Stalingrad and one.
No,
one
that's
go.
like all Australian servers as well. They're all combined.
Yeah.
Australia, there's no campaign. They're all combined. It's either map voting or seat rotation.
I'd be up for that.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a pretty good idea.
But the only problem with that is right now in the Discord on the right-hand side, it says Red Orchestra regulars 27, Rising Storm regulars 5. And I know that there's a lot of people that Red Orchestra that just do not like Rising Storm.
Yeah, here's the thing with Discord, though. There's a lot of those members who play both and are in both categories, but for some reason it only lists the first category. So unfortunately, the Rising Storm regulars looks very small.
But my point still stands that I know a lot of people, especially in the Bloodbath community, that just do not want to play Rising Storm at all.
Yeah, they're pretty exclusive to it. So that's why we have to.
I don't think I've ever seen Acria from Rising Storm.
It's hard to cater to everyone's taste, really.
Blood, would it be possible maybe to add some more of the new player-friendly maps back to the server rotation, such as apartments? I mean, it is a very popular map. People tend to choose territories or vote for it, but I think that is because of its popularity.
We're going to get a lot of hate if we do that.
Okay.
With our regulars, they're going to hate it. I mean, someone suggested making a revised edition of apartments. I'm okay with that. I think it's just about fixing the tickets.
Or just bring back RO1 Dancing. I'd be happy.
Yeah,
with
that would be awesome too.
Actually, apartments back in the day was considered almost impossible to attack because of the tickets before they changed it.
Yeah, apartments in the beta, the Germans won every time.
No, not the Germans, but it was almost impossible to attack the attacking team because the tickets, the defense had, I think, the attack only had 25 tickets more.
Also, the
So it was
cats
almost
are all
impossible.
different. There was only 3 cats rather than 4.
So it's after the big change when they ruined the campaign system and ruined all the maps pretty much for like when they brought in the MG42 and all that stuff. But yeah, put apartments in, for God's sakes, it's fun.
Well,
Is anyone good enough at modding just to like change the number of tickets on apartments? I think that would make a huge
easily done. Easily done.
We have the Mutator. I think I actually have one somewhere.
Yeah, Beskar here is our pro at the SDK and Mutator coding and all that. So
Can we do that? I think that would just make it so much more fun to play. Then there'd be no reason not to have it on the rotation.
Yeah, if we get that going, then I'll definitely put it back on.
But they need like 20 more tickets to Germans.
You probably have to put in the name apartments edited, so people won't be screw that.
Well, if it's a mutator, you won't need to change the name, and
it'd just be changing the tickets.
Yeah, I don't think we want to let people know because it might throw some people away.
The trick is just to equal out the tickets. That's the whole thing on it. Then it's going to be pretty much a grind. So it's
if it was equal, the Russians or the Germans would have so many tickets.
All right, well, we can discuss the mechanics of apartments later. We got to keep moving on. But if you guys have any suggestions here, please let us know. This next one's going to be for your squad people. I'm sorry you've been so patient waiting for the next squad topic to come up, so this one's for you.
Oh, no, I love Red Orchestra just as much as squad.
All right, well, good deal. On the squad front, our team has taken up a step back from participating in the Community Clan Fight Nights recently due to the, continual pattern of disruptions and organizational problems plaguing the event. It's become so bad that only 2, maybe 3 clans participate in it now. And I'd like to ask if there's still an interest in continuing to participate in this semi-comp event.
Fuck no.
Do you want to give North America another try or fall back to the original EU event, which is more established and has a smoother operation?
Well, it's not about that. It's when we played in the North American event, it was on a EU server. We all had like 100, 150, 160 ping.
That was just once.
That was just once, yeah. But now that what you said, Chronic is a part of FFO, when we were in there, dude, there was like damn near 2 squads full of FFO, and we had to split Bloodbath in half. FFO already doesn't really like us, so I'm not really sure if that's.
Oh, let's not drop names. Let's not drop names now. We're on the record.
I'm not even.
But yeah, the management has changed in North America, so I don't know. do any of you squad guys feel like coming out for the North American event anymore, or would you rather sign up for the European?
I haven't personally participated in it yet.
All right.
Yeah, I've never been in any of those event things.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've been away from events for a while, but I actually might check them out, even though they might have a bad rep.
It's always a mess, so I'm burnt out on that CCFN thing.
Yeah, that seems to be consensus so far. Well, if we do get back into it, would you guys want to participate in the European one? Or
Yeah, if they can figure it out.
Well, the European ones do have it figured out. It's just the North American ones that haven't.
As long as my ping's okay, I think I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm open to try the EU one.
Yeah,
good.
just to check the ping.
Gotcha. Also, with tonight being our first monthly meeting on Discord, I don't think there's a better time than now to review our experience with it. I realized that the recent update knocked out our overlay compatibility with our orchestra, but their support team is astonishingly quick in answering my email, and they're on top of getting the game whitelisted for the next update. So just leave the overlay off in the meantime. But aside from that, how is everyone enjoying Discord? It's definitely gotten way more of a turnout on here than we ever did on TeamSpeak.
10
I love it.
Discord is amazing. I never liked TeamSpeak.
So it's definitely intuitive and easy to access. You guys like it?
Easier on the eyes as well.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
pretty
white background and everything's color coded.
Yeah, plus Discord has a much more appealing feel for people who aren't like seriously hardcore. TeamSpeak was a big turnoff in the past.
Also do like the text to speech.
User has joined your channel.
Oh God, yeah. I remember those days. It's like, hello, user. Who the hell are you? Since our switch to Discord, guys, we have saved ourselves a whole Chipotle burrito every month. So
Fuck
congrats.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Who gets the Chipotle burrito?
We can split it 60 ways.
Well, I want everyone here.
Can I get extra
The next
salmonella
time-
on that?
The next time you go to Chipotle and you savor that burrito, just think, I saved Bloodbath this much every month.
Well, we could pass it around on weekends. Do alternating days.
Or we could all choose: do we want a piece of meat? Do we want a bean?
You can
Fried
FedEx
rice?
it to me.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Now that we move on to wrap up the meeting tonight, if there's any questions or comments on topics that we haven't covered yet tonight, or you didn't feel like we covered enough, now would be the time to bring it up. But first, I'd like to simply ask all of our community members present tonight, as we ask every monthly meeting, how are we doing? How are we performing? How are we doing for you guys? Just let us have it right now.
You guys are rock stars.
I'm still disappointed at the lack of pizza at these events, but
And beer.
You.
Beverages provided too.
I have
But
pizza.
in all seriousness, how are we doing, guys?
Oh, I like the sushi. It's pretty good. Actually, you guys are doing fairly good.
they're
I have not found another server group anywhere that is doing as well as you guys are.
Well, there we go. Anything that y'all would change, though? Any complaints? Like, there's got to be at least one.
I would
And
love
I would
to
hope for
bring
zero,
back.
but
I'd love to bring back Countdown and Countdown Nights.
Yeah,
We
countdown nights are
need-
fun.
Since you bring that up, I'd like to ask if there's a volunteer in this group that wants to host those every Thursday or maybe every other Thursday, because the team right now is really burnt out and trying to get people out for that. So we're open to hosting it. We need that dedicated community volunteer to come forward and go, hey, we're gonna do Countdown again.
If no one steps up the next week, then I'll do it.
All right, our guest host next week. Achoo.
do we still have the countdown server, or is that the event server?
It's the event server. I can just flip a switch
Okay.
and boom, it's on. But yeah, any other questions, comments, feedback? Now's the time, gentlemen.
Can we get pizza next time?
We will work on that, and I'm going to place that responsibility solely on the best NPC.
Fuck.
I have pizza.
So am I allocated bloodbath funds for this, or
To buy everybody pizza and ship it to them.
yeah?
Buying everyone pizza. What would that be? 50 burritos?
Yeah, in order to get that, just make sure you put down your social security number, your credit card number, password.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna need everybody to donate $5 for Little Caesars.
That's a whole fucking pizza for every one of us.
Yeah, but I got to deliver it.
Yeah.
You know, I like how the biggest topic and the feedback is about the pizza.
Yep.
So I'll take that as a good sign that we're doing well.
That's the
Well, it's not a bad sign.
Also, another really good sign that we're doing well is that map makers are putting little Easter eggs in the Heroes of the West
Right.
servers. I thought that was really cool.
All right. Well, I'll take this opportunity to make a little plug for donations. If you guys think we're doing well, please donate. We need to survive this summer.
Wait, hold on. Where do I donate?
Give us money.
I shall give you the link once more. I want you to say, "Shut up and take my money."
Oh, I was just about to say that.
I knew it was coming.
I was gonna make a variation on it.
I was gonna say, whoever said that not having pizza being the biggest complaint was a good sign. I mean, it is a sign that we don't actually have pizza. So,
and we also don't have real complaints.
Well,
unlike Heroes of the West, which is like
Inspector Fajit's got a good idea. I love bonsai charters.
You know what, guys? How about we all float over to that Red Orchestra server after the meeting and bonsai the shit out of stuff, or Freedom Charge.
Red Orchestra or Rising Storm?
Rising Storm. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, that's actually why a lot of people like the Merrill specific servers, because of the massive bonsai charges.
And yeah, and because of people like Reece, who hasn't returned in a while. That guy may not know how to be a tactician, but he knows how to inspire men.
Do bonsai.
Tanohaka bonsai. All right, guys, this is your last opportunity to get your questions, comments, feedback out now. Otherwise, I will close the meeting.
I have one thing.
All right, go ahead.
So, is there any interest in doing like we used to do about a year or more ago? We do like versus other countries, or basically like a organized team event. You know, maybe once or a month or once every couple of months. If there's an interest in doing that again.
I would love that.
Good thing you brought that up because, oh shit, I think he left. God damn it. Anthony challenged us to a duel. The Bloodbath community versus the Russian resistance. And
versus Anthony?
Yeah, basically. Although I think it's kind of for to satisfy his ego, but we might take him up on that. Because, you know, he does all these videos about how he stacks a team on a server and kicks everyone's ass, and then he got all this backlash from people saying, well, you can't pull that shit off on Bloodbath, all those veterans there. So then Anthony comes to me and says, okay, we're gonna challenge you. So I definitely think there's a message behind all this, but it's up to you guys if you want to do it. 32 versus 32, Battle of the Volga.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
You're telling us you get to smash somebody's ego against the rocks and laugh as it drains away. I'm
all right. We could definitely set that up this month if you guys are into it. 40-1 has also challenged us to a friendly duel, so there's also that, and maybe even divided the community server in Europe.
It was Bonsai versus Aussie and Zed last year as well. Although I had like 300 ping, because apparently New Zealand gets 300 ping and Australia gets 100 ping.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll definitely try to set that up. Any other questions, comments?
Yes. What kind of pizza does everyone want? Because I
damn it.
personally I won't do Hawaiian.
No, dude, we're just gonna do the three basic ones.
Pepperoni,
cheese,
hamburger,
pepperoni,
sauce. Hamburger.
No.
Who wants anchovies?
Oh yeah. Tons of anchovies.
Anchovy, spinach, mushroom, and pineapple pizza.
Let's go bonsai, guys. Bonsai.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear from anyone from the squad front. I know there's not a lot of you out tonight, but do you guys have anything in particular you want to say about concerning squad?
Nothing concerning it, just that it's been a great community since I've joined the server.
That's good. Anything we can improve on or do better?
That is good thing.
The administration has been great. They've been pretty, passive with everyone, and lenient when they need to be anyway.
Yeah, I think everyone's ping is doing well because of that Skylake processor we upgraded to.
Yeah, I actually get
the game
100
squad.
ping from
I can't
New
even
Zealand.
get it to stay up. It just won't even load.
That's unfortunate.
It's taxing, all right. It's a taxing game.
Which I don't understand how I'm running it on my toaster. I haven't even upgraded this thing
Yeah,
yet.
the temperature in my room rises astonishingly when I run squad.
You say the Bloodbath squad server is up like 24/7?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
It'll
yeah.
be up for 3 to 4 days in a row. It'll take a shit, or people will just, obviously stop playing because it's the middle of the week, and then we'll just get back on it the next day, and it's good to go.
Server files are still in
What?
alpha, so it gets crashes sometimes. It's like, God damn, I gotta start all over again. I did want to start expanding our reach into the European time zones, not just for Red Orchestra, but Squad as well. So if anyone who is playing during times, maybe in the morning hours or early afternoon in North America, you'll most likely be playing with Europeans. So start making friends and making recommendations for who you think would be a good admin for those times.
Bloodbath, where are your servers hosted?
We are hosted in Chicago, Illinois, United States of America.
Chirac.
But yeah, from New Zealand, I get 120 ping to the squad.
Oh.
Yeah,
which
it's
is like
pretty
real low.
amazing.
And I get like 200 ping to the Bloodbath RO2 ones.
I get like
It's that premium internet bandwidth we're running.
Oh, did the server host ever figure out why all the servers in Chicago went down that day?
One of their providers just had an issue. I can copy and paste it for you, but I don't think anyone really understand the technical jargon behind it.
Well, don't they deliberately try to make it as confusing as possible so you don't know?
Yeah.
Basically, I'll probably just
A long-winded way of
find it right
saying
now.
that some fat guy spilled.
I got it. I'll link it here. Our main aggregation switch in Chicago appears to have restarted, causing a minute or two of downtime for customers. We are currently investigating why this happened and will be following up with the vendor. Basically, It only takes a split second to fuck over the servers if they all go down. That's what happened that night.
I'm pretty sure the power went out.
Yeah, they had a brownout or something.
Yeah, because
there's nothing we can do about it. But they are the best. It is the best location for us to be hosted because of the quality bandwidth they have and the server hardware they offer at that location.
When I was an admin for corporate servers, I accidentally shut down every single chivalry server they were hosting. They were hosting 20 of them.
Good
Jesus.
Oh yeah, it's pretty easy to shut down.
So yeah, you just click that button once. For a second, you've kicked everybody off those servers and not getting back up. Well, not getting populated for the rest of the day, even if they're only down for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I had a friend who worked at Dell, and he had accidentally, for a short time, shut off the Dell firewall.
Okay. All right. Anyway, guys, we got to wrap it up because we're about 10 minutes over. I blame that to the fact that we have amazing turnout tonight.
And we're all talking about pizza.
Yeah, pizza. Don't forget.
Pizza.
No anchovies.
But since there's nothing else, that wraps it up for this monthly meeting. Thank you for everyone that came out tonight and for all our listeners on the podcast. Good night and good luck. Any other questions, comments, feedback?
What kind of pizza does everyone want? Because I
damn it.
personally
God damn it, you.
I won't do Hawaiian.
No, dude, we're just gonna do the 3 basic ones.
Pepperoni,
Just cheese,
hamburger,
pepperoni,
hamburger,
sauce.
hamburger.
Oh boy, this has been a Bloodbath production. Uh-huh.